Hey everyone, it's Chad with Hoosier Pilot. Before we get into today's video, if you don't mind hitting the subscribe button and smashing the thumbs up button, it'd be greatly appreciated. In today's video, I'm going to talk about a free app that offers many of the same features as Garmin Pilot and FltPlan, except it's free. I actually used this app during my flight training and on my check ride. All of these apps offer many of the same features, including GPS tracking and a lot of the pre-flight planning stuff that you would do before taking off for the day. Garmin Pilot costs around $75 a year, and FltPlan is $100 a year for the basic subscription. The app I'm talking about is free. It's called FltplanGo, or FltPlanGo. You can download it in the App Store or the Google Play Store. As someone who understands how expensive flight training can be, I try to save money where I can. And this app was one of the things that I was able to use to save money while still getting my VFR sectionals and being able to do my weights and balances. Next, we're going to dive into the app and I'm going to show you the features that I use and generally how the app works. If you look in the upper corner here, there's the FltplanGo app. We're going to open that up, and it's going to open me to the maps page. You can see down the side here I have a list of options as well as across the top. We're going to start at the very top here and go to the layers section. This is where I select sectionals, and that's what puts my VFR sectionals up here. I can also select different IFR charts and see the IFR maps for the area. I'm going to go back to sectionals here because that's what I use. I'm a VFR pilot currently. Moving on to the side here, I can select different features here as well as TFRs, which I leave selected. I think it's convenient to know where any TFRs might be. You got your stadiums. If there were stadiums around, it would highlight those. State outline, you can see it's going to show me my state outline there. It's kind of nice to know when you've crossed state lines, especially right now during the COVID-19 pandemic. It's important to know when you've entered a different area of potential restrictions. Go into the airport section here, click on airports, and it's going to leave these little circles around the airports. Kind of makes them a little bit more distinct, easier to see. It's convenient, especially when you're flying, able to see what's closest. Another really convenient section is fuel prices. Now, I will say that unless you keep this app updated, these fuel prices may not always be accurate. So it's important to maybe update anytime you're in a Wi-Fi hotspot when traveling, if you're at an FBO. I personally have a cellular enabled iPad. I did that because I don't always fly connected to a Stratus or any other external GPS. So having a cellular enabled iPad gave me a GPS internally, but it also allows me to update my charts anywhere. So even at low enough altitude, if something were to get a little off on me, I could re-update or reload my maps if needed. Going over to the route section, usually there's a route already loaded in here. I think that's a feature that's there just because it's a free app. To clear it out and to put your own in, you'd go over to the edit section, click clear if there was a route already in. But to show you how this works, flying from my current airport, gotta do the ICAO here. KHUF to, let's go to KEVV, which is Evansville. Now it's going to draw a line for me, show me my route, and it'll even highlight the arrival runways. So that way when ATC tells me where I'm going to be landing, I have an idea of how to enter the traffic pattern and which runway's which from my location. And go back over to route here and it'll tell you at the top how many nautical miles the leg is. Right now I'm about a mile from the airport, so it's it says my distance to my location or to my arrival location is 85 nautical miles, but my leg will be 84 nautical miles. Once I'm in the air, it'll tell me the approximate time to and the approximate arrival time. Going over here to METARs, this is another really helpful section for me. So if I click show METARs, it'll show me if I'm in a VFR or modified VFR, IFR situation. The nice thing about this though is you can set this to your personal parameters. So let's say I don't feel comfortable flying in the wind speeds that they have set for me. So I don't like flying above 10 knots, let's say. I know that's pretty low. I'm just using that as an example. So 10 knot winds will now make the dots show up red if they violate those set parameters that I have. So if I click on it, I want to know why it's IFR, it tells me, wind speed. So everything else would be VFR for me, but the wind speeds are too high. I can also go back here, click reset, and it takes it back to your standard settings. Another nice thing is winds. I don't have it on right now, but I can turn this on. And with wind barbs set, it'll show me my wind barbs. I can also set color-coded arrows. Shows me my wind direction as well. Makes it, I guess, a little bit more streamlined, a little bit easier to read. Yeah, the other features across the top here. Now, weather's really nice. I've used that before. When you update it, it can give you a pretty good radar picture. So it's kind of nice to have that at your fingertips as well. Another really nice thing is ADS-B. I do fly with a friend from time to time that has a Stratix in his Piper. Connecting to that, it works perfectly. I can see other airplanes around. It reports the information to me, gives me great situational awareness. Obviously, you can't do that unless you're connected to an ADS-B capable device, but this app will connect to one if you have one readily available. I'm going to close out of that. Moving down the side here, go down to checklist. I don't have any loaded, but I could load, for example, my landing checklist, pre-takeoff checklist, my walk around, all that stuff I can load in here and just go through and check it off as I go. Binders are convenient because I can load approach plates, the sectional directory, those types of things. I can put them in here and then select them as needed. Kind of lets me organize things a little bit better. Another really useful thing is the tools section. It'll give you your weights and balances, a cloud tops tool, a crosswind correction tool. It even has an e-logbook on here. Going on down further, we got scratch pad. This is nice because I can write down my ATIS information, if I had information Yankee, so on and so forth. Clear that out. Now, and then going on down to downloads, this is where I would go to actually download my sectionals. I have the St. Louis sectional downloaded right now. I could download all of them, but trying to keep some space free on my iPad currently, so I just have the St. Louis one downloaded, and it's green, which means it's still current. I can download different procedures, those different documents I had talked about, and various other things, FBO icons, airport diagrams. And if we go back to maps here, another kind of cool feature up here at the very top is the split screen. The split screen is really nice because I can load, for example, the procedures. So we'll load the non-current plate here. When this is pulled up and I have my GPS tracking on and am at the airport, my ship icon will actually pop up here where I am on the diagram, which is really convenient, especially if you're at a new airport. When receiving your taxi instructions, I can look at this really easily, see where I'm at, and see where my different taxiways are, my runways, so I know where I'm going. Then I can also get into checklist here. I can load my landing checklist, takeoff checklist, all those different things I can load here. So I've got my maps up and that as well. I can do weather. I can go back to that scratch pad, same thing. Flying in, and my approach airport tells me I'm going to land on runway 23. Well, I can write that down real quick. And get out of that. Another really nice feature is the nearby airports. Works just like the GPS in your plane. If I'm flying along and I need to divert, I can select any one of these airports and it'll take me to the airport diagram, or to the airport section rather, or direct to, and it'll take me straight to it. The last feature I want to talk about, to be able to keep your weights and balances and those other tools up to date, I got to go to FltPlan.com, And along the side here, you've got your tools, settings section. I would have to edit my aircraft list, pilot information, ICAO information, all that stuff. And then I can file flight plans at the top here. It makes it quick and easy to file my flight plan. All my information will already be loaded. It's super easy, streamlined, and quick. And that's pretty much the main features that I use. There's a lot more to this app than what I use it for. As I proceed in my training, I'm sure I will dig further into this. But this is just a general rundown on how FltPlanGo or FltPlanGo is laid out. Hey, thanks for watching today's video. Again, if you don't mind, hitting that subscribe button, giving us a thumbs up, and in the comment section, tell me what apps you use for your flight planning. I'd love to know what you use and why you use it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.